this is a long overdue video. And it needs to happen to get into the nitty-gritty of what I see happening on social media right now and just in like the health and wellness kind of space in general. And it's really just to make clarifications. If you've watched any of my videos before, you know that I'm all about simplicity and making things as simple as possible. And I feel like what's happening right now is making the simplicity of this even more complicated. And so the point of this video is to uncomplicate things and make them as simple as possible, because I've been getting questions left and right about these intricacies and rules essentially of pro-metabolic. And even pro-metabolic has become such a like trendy word, and I'm guilty. I use that word all the time because when I first discovered these principles and these truths of true health and healing, that was the name that was associated with it, was pro-metabolic. So when I first learned about it, I literally typed it in anywhere I could to learn more information, and there wasn't a lot out there. And so I used that word as my like guiding point to find, okay, you know, what are the quote unquote rules? And I feel like a lot of people similar to me get really caught up in, I need to know what to eat and what not to eat. What are the good foods and what are the bad foods? And I get that question so much, like messages of, can I eat this? Or is this good or bad? Is this a pro-metabolic food? Is this not? Can I not have this anymore? What do I avoid? What is bad? What is good? And it's making this beauty and simplicity of restoring your metabolism and the benefits that come from that so overly complicated. The word pro-metabolic is just a word that means for your metabolism. Pro-metabolism. That's all it is. The word itself is really simple. So breaking that down to, all we're doing is things and principles to heal your metabolism, to go in that direction versus a fad diet. I've said this before and I can say it again. This is not a diet, it's a lifestyle. And that's why I use the word these principles a lot of the time, because it's not rules. It's not good foods versus bad foods, or what can I eat and what can't I eat. It's just principles to start healing your metabolism, not rules, but ways to support your body and your health. Okay, so one thing I hear all the time is, I'm just gonna drink a ton of orange juice, eat a bunch of eggs and butter and milk, and sugar is not the enemy anymore, and go full force. And although all of those things are metabolically supportive for you, that is not the idea of going 0 to 100. And my patients in my office and clients that I have in my one-on-one coaching online, I tell every single one of them, do not go 0 to 100. That is the last thing I want you to do. If you're in a place where you're coming from restriction and going from restriction to open the floodgates, that's gonna hurt your body more than help it. And that's when I see a lot of issues start to creep up, and that's when I see a lot of women get frustrated because they're gaining weight. And we're gonna tackle that topic in a second. The point is, everyone is different and everyone has their own metabolic needs, their macronutrient needs. Again, that's why I work with people one-on-one. And that's the beauty of it, is that it's not this cookie cutter, fit into this one square box that you have to do all of these things, eat only these foods, avoid these foods, and then you're doing it correct. The beauty of it is that you have the freedom to eat the foods you love and avoid foods that you don't enjoy eating, and still be able to thrive and heal and restore your health and your metabolism. So when I get messages of, is this okay to eat, or is this not okay to eat? What are the good foods? What are the bad foods? What to eat, what not to eat? That makes me really sad, honestly, because I've been there and I understand coming from a place of so much restriction and living and running by those rules, essentially. And I'm that personality type to a T, where you tell me what to do, I will follow it to a T, and I'll go 100%, all or none. And that's not the best in certain instances, because there is so much nuance to every situation and every person's body. And it depends so much on your starting point. For example, I was coming from a very restrictive background. I was paleo for many, many years. I thought sugar was literally the devil himself. And I avoided a lot of gluten, I avoided dairy, I avoided certain fruits and fruit juices because I thought they had too much sugar. I was completely entranced in these rules. I can't simply say, here's what to eat and what not to eat. My goal is to give you as many examples as I physically can, because that's what helped me the most, is to see people's examples, because we get into this zone of, okay, all of these rules that I've lived by for so long, I'm now throwing them out the window, or not even throwing them out the window, but I'm having to reassess and completely shift my paradigm in my head of what nutrition actually means. And so for me, it was really hard to walk in a direction that I felt like I was blinded to. And I sought out as many resources, listened to all the podcasts, stalked way too many people on Instagram, and I was searching for examples. I was searching for, just tell me what to do and I'll do it. That's all I wanted. But we have to be really careful with that, because as much as I wanted that and didn't necessarily find it to a T, I did find a lot of resources that helped me kind of fumble through it, not so gracefully. So that's my goal, is to help you figure it out for yourself in a more graceful way, with more examples, without those hard rules. My goal is for you to find food freedom. So when I get messages from women and clients, hear from patients about the gaining weight factor, there's so many things that go into it. And the main question, once a lot of people hear, oh, I should be eating more calories and more nutrient dense, calorically rich foods like butter, like milk, things like that, it's scary. And if not done properly, you probably will gain weight. And a lot of times you needed that weight to gain. And that's hard to stomach sometimes. That's hard to hear sometimes. And this is a really tricky conversation to have. There's so much nuance that goes into it, because every situation is different and every person has their own starting point. So everyone's journey looks a little bit different. But if you're in that position of, I found Prometabolic and it made so much sense to me, and I dove in head first and I gained, 15 to 20 pounds, you're not alone. You are 100% not alone. That happens. Sometimes it doesn't happen. But for people who need more body fat on them for their bodies to feel safe and for their metabolism to actually start to heal, sometimes that's the necessary ingredient that's needed. It's the healthy weight of their body to feel safe. Now there's other situations, on the other hand, where maybe you actually do need to lose a few pounds, and that's a different conversation. It's all in your macronutrient balance. You cannot expect to be eating 250 grams of carbs a day as well as 100 or more grams of fat a day and not gain weight. That's going to happen. And you can change your macronutrients based on the season you're in or the goals you have. But all I'm saying is, when I see a lot of weight gain in the beginning, it's usually either due to the macros being off, eating a ton of carbs and fat at the same time, as well as going from 0 to 100 without taking the necessary steps of actually listening to your body, taking it slow, moving your body in a positive way that supports your metabolism, doing things like walking and strength training. If you seem like you're gaining weight rapidly and you're not strength training, start strength training. It will make a huge, huge difference. But your body will probably change. Mine did, and mine became more feminine, and I did gain weight. but I gained weight in places that I haven't before in my life, and I became more feminine, more weight in my hips, more weight in my chest. And I'm not stuck within these rules, within this box of rules of restriction, and I have to look a certain way, I have to be shredded at all times. I'm not in that mindset anymore because my paradigm has totally shifted into this one of femininity, what a womanly shape looks like to be healthy and fertile with a robust metabolism and healthy hormones. I'm still learning, I'm still figuring out different nuances of these principles and how to incorporate them into my life. But the more I let go of having these rules and regulations and stress around what I eat, when I eat it, and how I eat it, the more I see my body start to heal and adapt and change. Our bodies are so powerful, they're so smart, they know exactly how to heal. We just have to give it the opportunity to do so. I hope that made sense at all. And I know this was a little different than my normal videos. I'll be back on track next week. So like this video if it made sense to you in any way, and comment what your challenges are, if you feel comfortable sharing about your struggles coming into this community. It's such a beautiful, beautiful community. It's so supportive. And so comment what you've found that's helped you or what you're struggling with, so we can rally around you and help you figure out, okay, where are those things that need some clarification? Comment what you want to see more of. And don't forget to subscribe. I post a video every week, and I'll see you next time.